welcome to We Want Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We're talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode number 3. And this one is called Momma Knows Best. We start off with Mia, Stacey, and Jassi, and they're all arriving at Giselle's event at 8:04. As Giselle is calling over William, her security guard, and throwing them out.
Not a good look, Giselle.
No, and I really thought Ashley was going to go over and be like, no, let them stay.
Me too.
But then she wound up like, no, it's 8:03 or it's 8:04. But what does it matter? Does it matter if it's 8:03 or 8:04? No, it didn't matter. So then the girls go back out in the Sprinter van, and Viviene goes out to the Sprinter van, is like hanging out with them. And then Ashley comes out to kind of apologize, but no.
I don't think she was apologizing. She was being very condescending. She bought them like GNA stuff or something.
Yeah.
I haven't liked Ashley for the past few seasons. I don't know why they keep her on there. I don't think she brings much except mess, but whatever. That's just, she was trying to be messy.
Yeah.
Going out to that Sprinter.
She was. And then we see 18 hours after the event, Jassi, Ashley, and Karen go over to Stacey's house. And Ashley reiterates to them what she said to Giselle on Wednesday, that she wasn't going to invite the other women to her event. Now, but she did invite them. So I didn't quite understand that.
And so Ashley said a week ago, you didn't even know what this award was.
Right, exactly.
And she said, and you weren't going to invite anybody. And then Karen said, whatever she said. She changed her mind, whatever. I mean, she's Karen.
Karen was wrong.
Karen was definitely wrong to do that. I mean, and I don't like that Giselle kicked them out of that party. But she said it. I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at Karen.
Yes.
So,
and
she got it.
She did get it. And from what I understand, actually, Karen's event wasn't even filmed. There wasn't any Bravo cameras there. Only thing we saw was on iPhone footage. So
You're kidding.
No, because we really didn't see anything. We saw them take a picture.
That's it.
Like, we really didn't see anything.
That's interesting.
Because they didn't have clearance to film there because it happened so last minute.
It was a last minute thing.
Right. So it just kind of, it reiterates what Giselle said. Like, you were coming to my event. My event was planned. Bravo knew about my event. Cameras were at my event.
Yeah.
And, Karen was messy.
Yeah, she was wrong. She was definitely wrong.
Yeah. Then we see Wendy. She's talking to her mom, and she's telling her mom how they're going to North Carolina with the girls. And it's going to be while it's Wendy's birthday. She's going to be away for her birthday. But she's
40th.
turning. Yep, the big 4. And she wants Eddie to have a party for her. And we find out, which we kind of knew, but we stopped talking about it. Like, Eddie's family doesn't get along with Wendy's family, like her mom.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I wonder if Eddie's family sees her children, though. Like, it doesn't sound like they see her children. I think what they say the last time, I think it was one of the kids' communions, maybe, was the last time they saw them, which I don't know how long ago that was. But that's when Wendy's mom went up to give the other mom, Eddie's mom, a hug, and she turned away from her. But apparently they were friends, and then they fell out after the kids got engaged. Like, wouldn't you want that? Like,
yeah,
wouldn't it be like amazing? Like not that you arranged it, but it just organically happened that your kid fell in love with your friend's kid. Like, I think that would be cool.
I didn't think that they were friends. I just thought that they got along. I didn't know that they were actual friends before they got together.
That's what Wendy said. She said, my mom and Eddie's mom were friends. And then as soon as Eddie and I got engaged, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But Eddie's dad called Wendy to wish her a happy Mother's Day. That was nice.
Right. And her mom says, like, she said to her mom, you're going to be okay with, his family coming. And her mom said, yeah, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
But her mom is shady.
I agree. Because when she turned around, you're like, what is she going to say? And she's like, invite them. But you're like, does she really want her to invite them? Or is she like, like sharpening her knife, like invite them. Sharpening her knife.
Right. With the big fish there in front of her.
Oh my God, that fish. And what was the fish like just laying in the freezer? Like just the fish, not like wrapped up in anything? Like imagine your kid going to get like a ice cream sandwich out of a fish that looks like a dinosaur in there.
I know. That was crazy, right?
Yeah, actually that would be a fun joke to play on the kids. So I'm gonna pass that one along to Eric and see if he could do something about that.
There you go.
Well, Bill's out fishing right now. Maybe he could hook us up.
Actually, he's home from fishing. He's home.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So then we see Kiarn is at home with her mom. Her mom comes over and her mom asks her about like what's going on about, the road to marriage. Like when is that going to happen?
Why are people all over this girl to get married? Like, don't they think she can handle her own business?
I mean, I don't know. I agree with you. Like, I mean, she's a grown woman. Let her be when she's ready.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She just got a great gig on Real Housewives of Potomac. She's
Right.
building a beautiful home with a man she loves. Let her be.
Exactly.
As
I
long
agree
as her
with you.
name's going on the house. If her name's not going on the house, I could see cause for concern. But if her name's going on the house, which it sounds like it is.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like it is.
Yeah, let Kiarna be.
I agree. And then next we see Giselle with Adore and Angel, and they're getting ready to go to prom.
They looked beautiful.
They did. And then we had a guest cameo from Jamal shows up to see the girls off in their prom dresses.
Always like a Jamal sighting.
Yeah. I mean, they did look beautiful and good for them,
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's something he would miss. He does seem like a very good father, even though, he's not in Potomac, but they're not super far apart. He seems like a great dad. And I liked his interaction with Cal, too.
Yes. Well, I mean, they were friends first. She kind of stole Cal from him.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, which I like. Good for her.
Yep.
Good for her. Then we see Mia is over at Ink's place. And when he comes to town, they're at an Airbnb. They like to get an Airbnb because that way she has a little space from G because they're in the same building.
Yeah, so he can't pop in.
Right. Which I'm sure he would be doing.
Apparently, did you hear what she said? He had a hangnail she had to take care of. I don't even listen. If Eric is a hangnail, I'm not the one.
No.
I'm not the one.
No, exactly.
So
and
good
then,
for G that he feels comfortable enough with Mia and Ink.
Well, I think honestly, I think I think he's a little bit worse off than we know because she made it sound like when she was talking to Jacqueline and even Ink did, like they're kind of like taking care of him because he really shouldn't be alone. Did you get that impression?
Yeah. I feel bad for G because, obviously I don't know how long he and Mia were together. What, like 11 years, did they say?
Something like that. Yeah.
All right. So what is he? Maybe 60? G?
Yeah.
And she's in her 30s. So you figure 11 years ago, this guy was in his probably early 50s. I mean, I think G's a good looking guy now. So he was even better looking then. The money was flowing.
Right.
And he scored this baddie.
Mm-hmm.
And now, the money's gone. They got all, jammed up with the joint.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's like, peace. I did want to ask you though, and I think it's like right in my notes soon, but because they flashed back, right? They showed a picture of Mia and Ink in high school. They going to the prom.
Yeah.
Do you think this guy came back into her life because now she's on the Real Housewives of Potomac?
I mean, I don't think so. I think this guy came back into her life because he knew that she wasn't happy with the whole G situation. And I think that he suspected that Jeremiah was his son. And I think he came back to put his claim in.
And she obviously was in communication with him throughout her marriage. I'm not saying she cheated on G with him. I'm not
right
saying that, alleging that. I'm not. I'm just saying she had to be in some kind of communication with him. He didn't just
Well,
pop up.
well, she did actually cheat on G, but I don't know if it's that she cheated on him or they had an open relationship, because G led us to
Right.
believe that he knew at his age he wasn't going to be able to do the things that were
That's right.
necessary, right?
Right.
Because she was going through IUI, and that's how Jeremiah, she thinks, was conceived, but she was also sleeping with Ink at the same time. So it could, in fact, be Ink's child. And when he was talking to his, what's her name? Jacqueline's boyfriend. Jacqueline's boyfriend. When he was talking to Jacqueline's boyfriend about, his little princesses look exactly like him. And he said, he said that, yeah, that's my son. And they do kind of look alike.
He said Jeremiah was his son?
He kind of nodded his head. He said,
Well, because the guy Patrick said, "Do you have children?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I have kids."
And then he nodded his head to Jeremiah.
Okay, I didn't catch that. That's interesting.
Yeah, he did.
I think production was setting that whole thing up with him saying, "Your princesses look just like you."
Yeah, no, I do too. But that's when when I looked at Jeremiah and I looked at Ink, and I was like, oh shit, maybe he is his, because I do see a resemblance.
Yeah.
Guess we have to see how tall he is.
I was just thinking the same thing. We're gonna have to wait till this kid's like 17.
Look at us throwing shade just like Giselle.
I know, poor Ink. Seems like a very nice man.
But then Mia, she starts talking about her dad and him not being in her life, and she was in the foster care system, and she just wants to make sure her kids have a positive male influence in their life. And I think that they do with G. I do.
I do too.
He obviously loves them. So,
listen, nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors in anybody's house. Let's face it. And if the last season, when the season ended, she alluded to that he wasn't very nice to her, for the past 2 years or however long it was. I'm sure when his financial status was crumbling, I'm sure that took a toll. So I'm sure their kids have seen some shit, like most of our kids have, and but other than that, he seems like a very good dad. And a very involved dad, and a very caring.
But he was also at the same time diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Right.
And if not treated and treated properly, that can make you, not kind and mean and nasty.
Right.
And I think she is understanding of that.
I do too. I mean, just the way she was talking about it at the end of last season, like she wasn't like,
right.
She wasn't coming at him. She was just saying so it would be presented to the fans on the show, like this is what was going on. He did not deny it.
Right.
So,
and then next we see Stacey. She's going into the sweat dock, and she meets up with TJ. What did you think about their interaction, her and TJ?
It was a little awkward, and maybe it's just because they were on camera, and he did, he worked for QVC, so you would think he was used to being on camera, but he didn't look super comfortable. And I thought their conversation was very confusing and very cryptic.
I 100% agree. That's exactly what I thought. I thought that he seemed very uncomfortable. I thought it looked to me like she had more chemistry with her trainer.
For sure.
He did too, to be quite honest with you.
For sure.
Like, it was very kind of awkward and standoffish. And she even said to him, like, he brought up something, and he said, well, I'm not gonna do this before marriage. Like, why would you have this conversation in the gym? Like, the whole sex before marriage. Like, why would that come up in the gym?
Yeah. And he said, I just want to know there's a beginning and an end.
Right.
What did that mean?
Yeah.
And then the producers asked her, is he a virgin?
Right. And she said no. Right. Because he came right out and said, I'm not sleeping with you. He said, I don't want to have sex before marriage. And, the producers asked her, and she said, she's willing to wait. And he's like, but he asks her, like, how are you, like, handling the divorce? And she says, like, she doesn't want to talk about it. Her husband and her, she tells us this in the confessional, are very well known in the area, and they serve on a lot of boards together. But okay, TJ knows that. So why is he asking you, like that on camera. I don't know. I got the feeling that it is not really what she thinks it is, or she's misleading us. I'm not really sure if she's being misled herself or
Right.
if she's misleading us. I just got the feeling something was off.
Something was definitely off.
Yeah.
Something was definitely off.
And then we see Mia at her new apartment, and she says the kids are happy and they love it at the new place. And I cannot believe this is their 4th place in 4 years.
Yeah.
That place was nice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
the view of the Washington Monument. I mean, I honestly liked it better than that big, huge house they had.
Yeah, because she's in D.C., right?
Well, she must be if she could see the Washington Monument.
Yeah.
And that's got to be crazy expensive.
For sure.
A corner
For sure.
apartment with all views.
With the view, yeah.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what that's costing. I seriously can't.
Mm-mm.
And she's telling, Ink about how she's going to Lake Norman with the girls. And I don't know why he feels the need to ask her about how things are going with Karen, with her
That's
and
what
Karen.
I mean. Like, yeah, like, why is he? I don't know. I don't get a great feeling from this guy.
No,
I know they got history, but
I know. Like, why are you getting involved in this?
why do you care?
This isn't Jersey. That the guys don't get involved.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Know your place. And you
Right.
just got here.
Yes.
You're not Ray.
Right. Right. And Ray
You're not the
got
black
involved.
Uncle Ben.
No, Bill Gates. Bill Gates, the black Bill Gates.
Oh, we got to take that out. Poor Ray. Ray is legit one of my favorite house husbands, by the way. That's right, the black Bill Gates. What the hell's wrong with me? Oh, because Giselle called him Uncle Ben.
Well, because
Uncle Ben is black. Why would I say the black?
Exactly.
One tequila, people. One tequila. And I'm not even done with it. It was a heavy pour.
Listen, this was a tough get to where we're at tonight.
Oh my God, people, you have no idea. And this could possibly sound like shit. We have no clue. All of a sudden, our sound's not working in our studio.
Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties. I don't know. So Mia tells Ink that, it's going to criminal court. And I'm thinking about this. I'm like, of course it's going to criminal court. I mean, where does she think it's going? A DUI is a criminal charge.
It's not a civil matter.
Right. So I want to look up Karen's charges. So I do. I look up her charges because they said how many she had. So this is what she's charged with. She's charged with a DUI, driving under the influence of alcohol, and driving while impaired by alcohol. Her traffic violations are negligent driving, endangering property, life, and person, reckless driving, failure to control speed, driving above reasonable speeds, driving with a suspended registration, and failure to notify the Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration of change of address. Those are a lot of charges.
That's a lot of charges. So her registration was expired and she must have moved and her license was not updated with the new address.
That is correct. And she was speeding.
The speed thing is interesting because back in the day, when we were going to the club, unfortunately, I would never want my kids to know this, but we would, have a couple of cocktails and then drive. But I'm telling you, white knuckle, 5 under the speed limit. You know what I'm saying? 5 miles under the speed limit. Like, especially if we were coming home from Seaside and going down 35. I would never do it today, people, just to let you know. But it did happen in my early 20s. But you must be really out of your mind drunk to be speeding while under the influence.
Well, the other thing I read is because just I don't know how recently it was, when I was searching the charges, her attorney was trying to get thrown out the evidence that was found, and they were trying to get it thrown out based on, they were saying, illegal search and seizure. Because after the accident, they were asking her questions and they went into her vehicle and she was answering the questions, but they're saying that she was not read her Miranda rights because she wasn't under arrest yet. But the judge threw it out. He said no. But one of the things that was seized were 2 empty beer cans in her car.
That's not good.
I do not get Karen Huger as drinking beer. I'm just saying.
Not canned beer. I mean, Ashley likes her Coronas, but at least that's a bottle. Yeah, canned beer?
Yep, right? I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's odd.
I thought so
Imagine
too.
if she was with somebody else, like with another guy, and they're not saying.
Well, they also said, I also read when I was searching about this, that the person that called 911 said that she was slurring her speech, she reeked of alcohol, and she was very confused.
Who called 911?
So somebody saw the accident and stopped and was with her when the police arrived. And the police said that she was in the back of the car for 10 minutes while they were talking to her. It's not that she was arrested. It's that, she had just been in an accident, and a pretty bad accident, because the car was totaled. So they were talking to her in the back of the police car. And, it was evident to them and to the person who called 911 that she was intoxicated. And I guess based on, the investigation at the scene, you could see how fast someone's going or get an idea, because she hit something. She swerved out.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they can tell. They got all kinds of technology
Yeah.
to figure out, like, the point of, the amount of impact on something, how
Right.
fast a vehicle, depending on the vehicle. And
Right. And then they
wow.
got a court order to draw her blood, to get her blood alcohol. So, listen.
Wait, but
I
how
mean,
are they gonna, like, what, like, it's not like they're gonna get it from that night. What do you mean?
I think they took her to the hospital.
Well, then for sure
Yeah.
they're getting
Because
it.
she was talking to EMS when they arrived. She was talking to EMS when the police arrived. So EMS was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll have to
It's
wait and
not
see how
looking
this.
good for Karen. It's not looking
Yes.
good for Karen.
And I just would like to say everything I'm saying is alleged. Just
Of
telling you what I
course.
read.
Right. We don't know if any of this is true.
Right. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely.
And by the way, even sometimes they're innocent then too. So just say.
Yeah, we're learning that. Dear
Right.
God. So Jassi came in hot when they went to dinner with Giselle.
I don't blame her.
I don't blame her at all. I think she's a great addition, this little sassy Jassi.
Yes, I agree.
She was like, "Oh, I'm glad you're welcoming today."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I thought that was great.
Yeah. And they're having their charcuterie and cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
But then Giselle did apologize to the ladies, and she let them know that, her anger was really meant for Karen, that,
Yeah.
it wasn't meant for them. And I felt like they all accepted her apology.
I do too. I do too.
And then they start talking about the girls' trip. And then for some reason, Giselle, just being Giselle, says to Stacey, I know you have 2 kids. And Stacey's like, no, I have 1 daughter, and I've been married for 16 years, and I'm going through a divorce. And Giselle said, well, you seem sad about it. And she's like, do you not want the divorce? And Stacey said, well, I'll never be happy about a divorce, which makes sense. I mean, you
I
don't want to be
get
happy.
that. Like, she,
Right.
she knows it's what needs to be done, but nobody wants to see their original family unit break up. Like, it's her husband, her daughter. Like, that's her
Right.
unit.
Right.
And who wants to see that fall
Right.
apart?
No,
Nobody.
I 100% agree. So then Stacey said, then Ashley jumps in, and Ashley's like, well, she has a friend. And Giselle's like, oh, you moved on. Giselle being Giselle. Stacey says to
Stacey did not
Ashley,
like that.
nope. She says, I spent multiple days with you at my home. This is what I thought was interesting. I spent multiple days with you at my home talking about my marriage and my children. She has 1 child. She said
And
children
she
because
literally had just corrected Giselle for that.
I played it back 3 times. I'm like, why is she saying children? She just said she had 1 daughter.
Oh,
But
that's
she did say
interesting.
that. She did say that. And you come here over cocktails and charcuterie, and, you spill my business. And Stacey says, I'm so cautious because I'm talking about the mental health of my daughter. I mean, that I get. I get that you're worried about your daughter, but we talked
Yeah.
about this last week. You know, your daughter's old enough to see what is going on. She
Yeah, come
obviously
on.
knows you're not sleeping in the same bedroom. She's going on vacation with him. Most of the time when he's there, you're not there. You're in another apartment. I mean, the girl is not dumb. You
No.
can try and protect her all you want, but come on.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And is she 10 or 11?
Exactly. She's 10 or
I
11.
mean, show her the respect to be honest with her.
Exactly. Exactly. And then she said, I'm not ashamed of my friend. I'm ashamed of the way you brought it to the table. You know, Ashley, of course, she's like apologizing. She's like, listen, I didn't know this was a secret. I didn't know that you were going to tell everyone individually. Like, you didn't say to me, like, don't repeat this.
Right.
And I do actually believe that about Ashley, because when she said
I
she's
do
got a,
too.
she didn't seem like she had malice. She's like, oh no, she's got a friend. Like, she's moving on.
Right. Right.
And she said friend. She didn't say that.
Yeah. Right. She didn't say she's got a new man in her life or anything like that.
Right. And the fact that Stacey got so defensive about it, that is another thing that kind of rubs, like, something's not right with that either.
No, I totally agree with you.
Like,
Something's not adding up.
right. It's just, the math ain't mathin'.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So after that, we see all the ladies. They arrive at the airport and they're ready to go, getting ready to go to Lake Norman, North Carolina.
Did you notice how they were dressed?
No,
They
I
were
actually,
all 100% appropriately dressed for travel.
okay, good.
Good
Good.
job, Potomac.
It's so funny. I was looking at their luggage this time.
I'm sure that was quite impressive. Yeah.
I'm always impressed at how much luggage they bring for these short trips. It always blows my mind.
Especially to the lake. Like, I don't think you're going many places. Like, I'm pretty sure you're staying on the lake.
Yeah.
Maybe out to dinner a couple of times, but
right.
you're doing lake stuff.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So then we hear from Mia that Stacey's not flying because she's driving, because she has someone in her family that has died in an aviation accident. And I will
in the month of May, right? Or she just doesn't fly in that month.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that specific month. I heard her say something.
I could be wrong.
I heard her say something that, because it's her mother's brother, we find out, and she does it out of respect for her mother. But I thought it was very interesting the way that Mia gave that information to the ladies. And they were all like, oh, okay, we understand that. Like, an aviation accident?
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I'm assuming plane crash, right?
Right, exactly. So after they get there, we know Wendy's turning 40. I didn't realize that it was the very next day, and this was the last day in her piece. And Giselle and her are talking, and Wendy, however it comes up, Giselle says that she does go to church on Sundays, and Wendy's very surprised to hear this, that she didn't think that. I mean, she was married to Jamal.
She said, do you go to a Catholic church? And Giselle said, yes.
Yes.
So so Giselle must have been raised Catholic when she married Jamal, started going to a Baptist church, and then went back to a Catholic church. But people, it's all under Christianity. So it's like potato,
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I wouldn't find that very surprising. Like, I know friends who were raised Catholic who now go to, Pentecostal churches or Lutheran or.
Right. Then what else do we see? Mia's talking to Karen about how she's doing, because those two are together in their own vehicle. And she said, Karen said, like, she's got a lot on her. She feels the weight of everything on her. And Mia says, listen, it's all over the internet, Karen.
Right.
Karen says, well, read it. And she's like, I did read it. And I get that Karen doesn't want to talk about it because it is a criminal case and it is going through the courts. So she really should not speak about it. But then we get the thing that says hours later, and we're going to have to wait until next week to find out what happens. But we see this big blow up between the ladies, and they're saying we need Karen to own up to what she did. First of all, I don't know how that came out, but I don't think that they do need her to own up to it. Not if it's a legal matter and it's not been settled. She should not be talking about it.
I'm wondering, like, what do they want her to say? Because she's saying, I can't say anything. First of all, I got a camera in my face. I really can't say anything. I just can't say anything right now. And everybody else who's gone through shit, like Karen said to Ashley, like, they had given them the respect. Like, okay,
Right.
we get it.
Right.
Like, what? It's like they're baiting her. She can't say anything. It's a
Right.
legal matter.
Right.
It's a
Exactly.
criminal legal matter. It's not even the John Jansen bullshit with Shannon, like you owe me 75 grand. This is like
Right.
jail time, possibly. She
Yes,
just
because
needs to
it's her
keep her
second
mouth shut.
offense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like she just needs
Yeah.
to keep her mouth shut. And they should know that. And they probably
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. That's the one thing I really like. Again, I want to see how it plays out, but I don't blame Karen for not telling them. She should not be telling them on camera.
No.
That should not be discussed. I don't think she should even tell them off camera because I wouldn't even trust them
Yeah.
because
No.
they're all about the story. And then
100%.
I don't know who asked Kiarna about the scar on her head, but apparently that's from the GNA party.
Really? I did not see that part.
So that's coming next week also. Yeah.
From Big Bird?
No, she's
Sorry,
a Muppet.
that was the tequila. That's right, the Muppet. The Muppet. Oh my God. I wonder if Kiarna's suing her. Probably not, because Bravo would probably have to be named and she's on the show. She's probably like, I'm all set.
Housewives have it in their contract. They're not allowed to sue each other.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But
They're not.
they were both friends of last season. Neither
But
one of them were housewives.
But Kiarna's a housewife now. Maybe that's why Kiarna's a housewife now.
Right. That's right. They're like,
Right?
sign right here, sign this contract.
Yep. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next week. And, stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
I am loving Potomac this year. And I told you, the episodes go by so fast and I love that. I'm like, oh, good. I got my notes.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. I wasn't pissed off. I was thinking about Robin today because I read an article that Giselle said that she really misses Robin and she hopes she comes back next season. And even Karen, while they were shooting some scenes, would look at Giselle and be like, I miss Robin, I don't miss her at all. I don't miss her at all. And I'm urging to know if she and Juan Dixon are still living in the same house.
That's an interesting
come on
question.
now. He's the reason she's off the damn show because she was trying to protect him. She lied right to Andy Cohen's face on Watch What Happens Live. And a couple of days later went on her paid subscription podcast and spilled everything.
I don't even think, do they even have a podcast anymore?
I don't think so because was suing them for the name. Something was going on with Eminem for the name.
It was the name because they were called, their podcast was Reasonably Shady and he has Shady trademark.
That's amazing. He's got Shady trademark.
Which, by the way, that seminar is tomorrow. I'm going to try and listen to that, the trademark seminar.
Yeah, I'll try. Because we can just kind of hop on when we can, right?
Yeah. Did you register?
No, I have to do that.
I was going to say, I can just send you my link and we can both sign on through the link, I would imagine.
Okay.
Because I did register.
Okay.
It was free. I'm registering.
Yeah.
Something else I wanted to tell you. Something else just happened. Oh, I know. New podcast just announced. Cynthia Bailey and who's with her?
Crystal Minkoff.
That's it. Cynthia and Crystal. And
Yeah.
they're under, my brain isn't working tonight. They're under, I don't like them either. Very shady. They're under, why can't I think of this name? Listen, I haven't even finished one glass of wine and I can't think of this guy's name. Vile Files.
Oh, I've never
Nick
listened to
Vile.
him.
Nick Vile. So I've listened to him a couple times, and the reason I stopped liking him is because he's thrown a lot of shade at like Sheena. I really like Sheena and Lala. Like he's thrown those people under the bus, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
But I will listen to Crystal and Cynthia because I like them both.
Oh yeah, me too, for sure.
I will listen to them.
Did you listen to Juicy Scoop with Heather McDonald with Drea DiMatteo?
Oh my gosh, yes, I did.
So good.
So I can't even believe she didn't know the whole Jersey thing.
I know.
The Caroline
I
Manzo.
know. That was a great podcast. And did you see, I don't understand blind items. Like where do these blind items come from?
So there's a couple podcasts that Bravos and Cocktails is one of them. I used to listen to them. I stopped listening to them, but Bravo and Cocktails is one of the ones that take blind items. So you can send them information and it's a blind item and they don't verify it. Their blind items are not verified.
And they just put out like cryptic, because they put one out today, I'm sure you saw it, about an OC housewife that's headed for divorce. So there's only 3 housewives in OC that are married, Heather, Emily, and Tamra. And it says that she's not shy to have procedures, or she'll have
Right.
any procedure.
They were
That's
talking
all
about
of them,
Tamra.
by the way.
No, they were talking about Tamra and it came out a couple days ago. And then Tamra and Eddie were doing their own thing because Eddie was saying that, he stands by Tamra and she just got a bad edit this year and they're fine. The blind item was about them. And then he tried to squash it. I did see that one.
I don't like these blind items.
That's why I stopped listening to them and following them, because I'm like, I don't want to hear what you think could have possibly happened from someone out there who's just putting shit out there.
Yeah, like if there's no merit to it, then why share it?
Right. Well, because it gets you likes and views and followers.
That's true. And responses from the real players, the Bravo players. Which, by the way, shout out to Emily Simpson, because she did actually comment on one of our posts on Facebook. And that was amazing because we love Emily.
We do love Emily, and we would like to collaborate with Emily on a podcast about the Menendez brothers.
Yes, for sure.
Emily, if you'd like to reach out to us at We Wine Whenever, we'd love to have you on, and we could chat about the Menendez brothers.
And have we talked about our Danielle Cabral cameo?
No, we haven't.
So we love Danielle Cabral. I mean, we can't say it enough. We've met her a couple of times at different Housewives events. And cousin Gina, who's been on the podcast, was so sweet and asked Danielle to send us a cameo. Didn't even tell her that it was us from We Wine Whenever. She just said my cousin Kelly and her friend Wendy. But Danielle knew right away. And she sent us the nicest cameo. It's on all of our social media sites. And Gina felt terrible because she didn't include Lori in it. But the times we met Danielle, Lori wasn't with us. And so Lori was not offended by it at all.
Right. It's all good.
Yeah, but definitely shout out to Danielle Cabral because we love her.
We do love her. So until next time, thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. Bye.
Bye.